Hi and welcome back to Kingsclear. In this short video I'll show you how I installed a DCC sound chip to this Bachmann USA tank locomotive. This was a hardwire installation and I also did a bit of weathering as well, although I won't go into too much detail in the weathering. Hope you enjoy. Although I have run this loco before, I've just given it another run just to warm it up. It appears to be no problems whatsoever, and as I say, it's always good to run a loco in on DC before you attempt to obviously spend all that time putting the actual sound chip in, etc. So for this particular loco we're going to hardwire this one, and what we're going to do is we're going to remove the blanking plate and the receptacle port of it as well. That's going to free up area for the speaker and the chip to sit on top. We're also going to use a different stay alive, and we're going to put the firebox glow in there, always remembering, that's my finger again, that on the back side is a resistor. I know it sounds silly to point that out, but I actually did a loco a while back, forgot to put the resistor in there and caused no end of problems. So basically what we're going to be doing is we'll take this apart now it's had its run. We'll put in the decoder with the speaker, the stay alive and the firebox go. We'll make sure it's all good and then we'll weather it up. So with the screws removed, the large one at the front, or should we say the funnel end, and the small one at the rear cab end, as you can see we've opened that up. So what we'll do now is we'll take the motor off, excuse me, we'll remove all of this area here, and then in effect there's some capacitors I believe are underneath for this which we need to remove as well. Get all of that done and then we can then get the speaker in and the decoder, solder all that lot together, and then we'll then attempt looking at the firebox glow and the stay alive. With the cab body off now, you can see we can get an entry into the area for the firebox glow, also to fit the crew. Now this was particularly difficult getting off. As you can see there's some little bits of pipe work there and there which goes into this cab, into those holes there, so a lot of time and patience in doing that. The other thing that I realised as well is that I was hoping that the area of the smoke box was going to be clear, and obviously that's not picked it up very well, but it's not. It's got a very large weight in there, which basically means that I need to reassess where I'm going to put the stay alive. Now you can use other stay alive capacitors, I think they're called, but I didn't get those. So there's the titanium ones, or whatever they're called, I can't remember. You could use. I'm still going to look at various different options to put the stay alive, the Kung Pao one in, or yeah, Kung Pao in one, and I think I might just look at seeing if I can put it into the footwell of the cab. It's a very, very dark cab. It's all enclosed anyway, as you can see, and when you get your crew in there as well, I think it will potentially disappear anyway. So these are one of the things that you need to look at all the time, is just when you start on this, you're not too sure what you're going to find, even though you've got good guides and stuff like that, you don't always see everything you need to see. Anyway, now to start pulling it apart. With this upstand now removed, as you can see, it was quite simple, just a razor saw, one like this, and then just go through and just file it down, make sure you've got no debris anywhere. Now we can obviously get into this area here. We also need to remove the engine now, and then start soldering. With the motor now out, we can remove the suppression units and the wires. The wires from the decoder will be soldered directly onto this motor, and we just need to make sure we get the right length. space is a premium within this loco, so we don't want a lot of additional wire for no reason. The black and reds will be jointed to the black and reds on this one. I was going to consider soldering this directly onto the chip itself. However, as you can see, it is very tight in there, and although my skills with a soldering iron aren't that bad, any bridging across those joints, we've got a problem. And obviously, if that occurred and you go back to the manufacturer, they'll say, well, you've been working on that and it's not very good. So yeah, I think I will join those to give myself a little bit more space. Now, unlike others, I will not be videoing this while I'm doing it. I'll just come back to you when it's all gone well. Obviously, if you never see this video, it means it didn't go very well. With the speaker in place and the chip in place, as you can see, the motor is wired. The orange one is now wired. The red track is now soldered together and with a heat shrink on it, and just tidied that up, that area. If we just turn it around, as you can see, the grey wire to the motor and the black wire with the heat shrink is in. The speaker wires have been reduced, so in effect we're now good to go. What I've done, just to make things a little bit tidier, we've got the Stay Alive wires, which are the black and blue striped ones in effect, and the two wires, the green and the blue, for the firebox glow, just waiting there, and I've just basically just sorted those out, tidied them out of the way. The other wires, which we're not going to use, have been shortened. Just need to shorten these two now, and in effect we are now in a position ready to test. So once I'm happy, as I say, I've checked, there doesn't seem to be any issues in regards of potential shorts. I could have cut the plastic around the chip, but as I say, I think we've just about got enough room here now, and yeah, we'll give it a test. Okay, so we've got success. The loco's now sat on the program track. I put the red CV, came up as free, which was great. Put in its address, recognised the address, and I just put one single function on at the moment just to test it. So happy with that. So I'll put the rest of the functions on now, and in effect the next stage you will be putting the firebox glow on and finding somewhere for the Stay Alive. Okay, so that's all good. I've put all the functions on now. It's had a bit of a run. The issue with this loco, and I think you'll see it straight away, is that it's because it's an 060, very, very short wheelbase. You definitely need Stay Alive on there. So that's the next thing now to do, is put the Stay Alive on there and the firebox glow. The crew need to go in, and then once I've done all that, give it a bit of a run and then a bit of weathering. But to be honest with you, that's actually gone together really quite well. Okay, let's get on and see what we can do with this Stay Alive now. As I say, the Stay Alive will most probably go in that well there. There is an option to use, as I say, YouTube's got some titaniums which are quite small. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly. Quite small, and they can go into that area. But as I say, my layout is not too bad in regards of connectivity with power, etc. Because I've got lots of droppers, etc. But just a little bit of dirt, and you're going to really lose this loco purely because of its wheelbase. So we do need to get a really quite substantial Stay Alive in, and yeah, let's see how we get on. With the Model U driver and fireman in, and as you can see, the Stay Alive, which I've painted in a tyre matte black colour, it's all looking quite good. Unfortunately, because of obviously the cab details on this loco, we won't necessarily see all of this detail. The firebox glow will obviously come through and you'll see the figures in there, but this is one of the issues when you've got the enclosed cabs, you just never really see the detail of the drivers. But on the flip side, it's a good idea that obviously you won't be able to say see that Stay Alive. Right, so let's just let that dry off. We'll close it up and then we'll start putting it together. So there we go, all done. The firebox glow, as you can see, is quite effective, and you can just about make out the crew in there. The stay alive, as you can see, is there, but to be honest with you, would never see it. Now, what I would normally do is obviously look at putting some coal in. I think I might just get a little layer in there, but there's not going to be much. But yeah, good runner, and sounds really good. Just now need to do the weathering and then do it all together. That's a pretty good example of stay alive. Now, there's not many places on my layout that will require that amount of stay alive, but it's still a very, very good period of time where you got that power. So there you go, she's all done now. I think I'm going to do a little bit more weathering around the cylinder blocks, but apart from that, I'm quite happy with that. It's not overly weathered. I try to just have it dirty instead of just filthy. But again, using the standard techniques of airbrushing that, I'm using some other products just to get like that water streaking, for example, you can see there. Anyway, so I hope you've enjoyed that. It's a project that I've been looking to do for a while now. I'm glad it's done. Always a little bit of risk when you directly put the chip onto the motor, but I think this one's worked out really well. But yeah, as I say, click like, and obviously please subscribe if you haven't, so I can keep you updated with all the new developments here at Kingsclear. And apart from that, I hope you've enjoyed it.